mean, that's what it is, man. All it cares about. A group of people is ruthless, man. It does not care about the people in it, and it will do whatever it can to preserve its own existence. So it's like you have to be. You got to be aware of that, because it's like what's best for a group is not the best for you, and this will extend up to the highest reaches of culture. The culture isn't your friend. The culture just cares about maintaining itself and preserving itself at the expense of the people that are in it. Once those type of groups form on a large scale, they exist. They build a fortress around themselves, and they exist in a self-preservative mode, where they do not allow dissent. They do not allow anything to go against whatever exists within the formation of that. And it's like people don't become aware of that sometimes throughout a whole lifetime. It's like the destruction that some people never realize who they are outside of that. And that's a dangerous thing, dude, because you're so much more as an individual. The potential inside of every person on this planet is so much more than just what is assigned to them through their cultural fucking origins or whatever you're born into. Humans would be nothing by themselves, but we're also nothing when we get lost in a large group of people. You need a mix. You got to be able to be a part of a group, but you also have to have something internal and individual outside of that. Because if you don't, then you just become an avatar for whatever the group's ideas are. I think a lot of people just aren't good at maintaining the separation, because some groups are so rigid they don't allow it. They don't allow for any sort of dissent, for any sort of disobedience from their members. And so that's what it is. That's the main point, is that when people come so strongly to a situation with opinions, I don't think anyone can have that strong of opinions unless they're formed either in fire, if they were formed in the crucible of life from experience. I get that. So people can really hold some strong beliefs if they've gone through some shit and they've learned some shit on their own in life and been tested and molded and put into a position where they had to learn some truths. But if someone is just fucking perpetuating things that they've heard or things that they've been told, man. So it's just like those are people to avoid, man. Those are people to not be around, because you're going to get lost. You're going to get lost in there. You might never get out. And if you stay in there, if you don't agree and you stay in, you're going to learn to hate yourself, because the group will view you as evil. If you threaten the group in any way, it will view you as evil, and then they will turn against you. And then you will start to inhabit the group's view. This is why people are so propense to go along with whatever a group says, because because there are consequences to not. The group will turn against you and inevitably turn yourself against yourself if you're buying into what the group is, but at the same time the group turns against you. You can't help but inhabit the group's opinion. So you will have an opinion of yourself that is the group's opinion of yourself. And if the group's opinion of you is negative, you will have a negative view of yourself within that. It doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about you. It cares about preserving itself. You are not loved. You are only rewarded if you are giving it what it wants, if you are giving it what it needs to survive, and you are rewarded. And that changes people's behavior. Look at people inside of corporations. Look at people inside of political systems. This is why people start to behave in a certain way once there's something on the line. Once somebody has power over you, once they're paying your salary, once they're giving you a life, they're giving you money, they're giving you resources for being a part of this group, you have no choice but to go along, because they have you. Or if you're so flimsy on your own that you can't be on your own, and you need that group. You can't lose that friend group. You can't lose your family. You'll be nothing without them. Yeah. But what if you're nothing with them? What if they destroy you? So that you can't be. It's just, you got to be careful, man, because you got to understand that in this lifetime, you will be betrayed. I believe everybody in this life will be betrayed. And it's just because that's how the world works. It's not good or bad. But you got to understand how the systems work. You got to understand how life works. And here's the thing. I don't blame individuals for this at all, because people get caught up in shit. For the same reason, people get lost in shit. People get lost inside of that. They don't even know themselves. There's the pawn. Whatever that group dynamic is that becomes greater than everyone that's a part of it. It takes people and changes them. It uses people. It uses people as pawns to further its own interest. And so, yeah, they are responsible for their actions, but it's like maybe they don't even know themselves. Dude, humans exist in like this quasi real space between being an individual and then being a member of a group. We don't exist in either way. You can't actually be part of a group 100% because you are an individual. But you also can't exist on your own. It's impossible. You have to relate to something. You have to relate to some sort of social structure. Otherwise you're nothing. So it's like, dude, you have to find the balance. But here's what I would say. Some practical advice would be to get out of the place you're from. Get away from your home. Go travel somewhere far, far away. Maybe don't talk to the people that you usually talk to for a year or for a week. Because once you get outside of that shit that's familiar to you, you will find who you are actually, not defined by that. Because you have to uncover that person. Then you can come back to the group and actually have a sense of who you are and still exist within it, but not be corrupted by it. That's the hero journey, man. That's the hero story. That's why we need that. That's why we need that in fucking life. Because if you don't have that, everything corrupts. We need people to leave and come back. Because when they leave, they find themselves. When they come back, they can contribute as a fully formed person. But you never will be able to be fully formed to contribute if you just stay where you are, because you will be so corrupted by everything that's oppressing you in that current state that you will never be able to lift up what wants to. See, what wants to destroy you must be saved. That's the thing. What wants to destroy you must be saved. That's one of the paradoxes of human life, is that the culture will destroy you, but it also needs to be saved by you. But to do that, you have to get away from it. That's what that is a deep truth in human existence. That I didn't even mean to get there, but that is truly, that's the point of the heroes. That's the revivification of culture. The revivification of culture, man. That is how we move forward. We don't move forward by standing still. We don't move forward by staying the same. We move forward by leaving and coming back. But it's painful because it wants to destroy you, because it wants to stay the same, but it needs you to change it. It's paradoxical. Most of the deep truths in life are paradoxes, I have learned. So this is just another one. That's the thing, is you are inherently betrayed by your culture. That is the truth. You are inherently betrayed. So just accept it. Don't get mad about it. Because it exists to it is what it is. It exists to do that. It wants to destroy you, but you have to resist. Because it needs you. It needs you to revive it by leaving and then coming back. And it's going to try to destroy you, but you got to be strong enough not to be destroyed.